Do you ever notice that your markers are drying out faster than they should, even when you're using the right paper? That's the big thing, and once you figure out paper and then you find out that this is like still not fixing it for you, it could be that you're just storing your pens incorrectly. So you could be unnecessarily shortening their very useful life when you store them improperly. Storing like brush pens and markers incorrectly could make the colors flowing from the tip less colorful, less vibrant, and it could make for a really stifled ink flow. So there's literally like nothing more frustrating for an artist or a scrapbooker or a hobbyist, really all of us, than to pull out a pen or a marker just to find out that it's dried as soon as it touches the paper, instead of rendering that clean, colorful mark that we're expecting. So if you are facing any of these issues, I've got some tips that will help you store your markers and your brush pens, especially your art pens, in a way that you will enjoy them for a more extended period. Firstly, pens like fountain pens, gel pens, roller ball pens, fine liners, other art pens like that should always be stored horizontally, and this will make sure that the ink doesn't flow away from the tip of the pen. Storing pens like this will also prevent them from getting dirty when they are stored upright or running into an ink clog when they're upside down. For those using like double-sided pens like Tombow brush dual brush pens, you get it. It's advisable that you store those also horizontally to keep the ink evenly distributed. Which might prompt the question, the pen holder that they sell that like holds them upright intentionally, I don't know, you're not alone in this curiosity. I also wonder why they use that position, but listen, I'm just trying to get you equipped with what I know will be the best solution for your pens. So maybe storing vertically won't hurt some pens like it will others, but when in doubt, horizontal it out. Wow to that horrible joke thing that I just said. It's fine. Any pen that requires you to shake it before use should also be stored horizontally. So I'm talking paint pens, metallic, or really any color paint pens. You've probably experienced having to like pump the tip for what feels like forever to finally get paint to flow, but you've also probably experienced the nightmare of having too much ink flow, which is creating a huge mess. So to avoid either of those, horizontal storage is your answer. It's not going to cure all, but it is going to be better for it. So in case of like pencils of any kind, you can store them either horizontally or vertically. When storing them vertically, make sure that you face the sharpened ends up, because doing this will help secure the tip from rubbing against the bottom of their container, which will dull the tips and maybe break them off. So if you opt to store pencils horizontally, place like a piece of foam or like a paper, soft material, where they might rub the tips against the edges to protect them also from breaking. So I'm going to walk you through my personal collection of pen storage solutions in my next video. So be sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss that, and I'll give you all of my favorites and exactly what I've done over the years to this day to make things easy. And then to make things even easier, I've created a list of some storage solutions in the meantime to choose from in the text, so you don't get lost in the wide variety of options both online and offline. Really though, horizontal is always a win, and it's also recommended to read the packaging of your pens to see if there's any particular storing method recommended by the manufacturer themselves. At the end of the day, storing your pens truly comes down to personal preference, so go with whatever works for you and your space. Again, my recommendations are in the text. Be sure to come over to thepigeonletters.com for even more tips, tricks, freebies, all the things, you name it, and I'll see you in the next video where I tell you all about my faves.